All right, so here it is up on my track, my main lines. And right away you can see what a distinctive color and shape. Now this is a class V320, which is an extended, highly upgraded version of the V160, one of the more common and popular German locomotives. I think they started in the 60s, maybe late 50s. Which today are known as the Class 216, but it's clearly much longer. This model comes in at 28 centimeters over the buffers. 28 centimeters. That is 10 inches and about an eighth to a quarter of an inch. 10 and an eighth of an inch. At least 2 inches longer than my next longest locomotive. This is a monster. It also comes in at a weight of at least 740 grams. I say 740 grams at least because I'm not sure my scale was able to get a full and accurate reading on it because it's too big.
This channel is a not-so-proud member of YouTube's all-encompassing special society of heavily overwhelmed layout enthusiasts. Check any railway show, check any railway club, check any layout, check your own house. You'll find one of us somewhere. Warning, the content of this stream is not suitable for children under the age of 16. The topic, language, themes, attitude, and personality of the presenter is not appropriate for anyone, much less children under the age of 16. Topics discussed will not center on trains and will focus on anything except politics. It just happens trains are running. Any similarity between characters, situations, trains, and intelligent thoughts is strictly a coincidence. Any rebroadcast or transmission of the stream without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is strictly prohibited. Viewer discretion is advised. Remember the 3 rules for model train layouts and pretty much anything. It's your layout, do what you want as you want. Do not tell someone else what to do unless they ask you directly what they should do. Do not call out, mock, criticize, or insult another channel on your channel or anyone else's channel. Thank you for your cooperation.
And see it, you'll love it, and it's all done in the best possible way.
Hey everybody, happy Friday to all of you Knights of the Rhomboid table on the other side of the screen. I hope you are well. It's been kind of a long week, a little bit melancholy, sad, just watching everybody's videos from Getz, and just wishing I could have been there. I am fully recovered. Joyce is mostly, although she seems to have just a couple lingering side effects. Unfortunately, my grandson Kyan has now come down with it. And he doesn't seem to have a bad case of it. Relatively symptomless, but just enough that it was, my daughter tested him today because there's some big events for him this weekend. And it's kind of sad because he tested positive, so he can't go to these big events. I don't think at his age he fully understands he's going to miss something, you know, that something was coming, he was going to miss it. But Mom does, you know, she kind of, you know, is very heartbreaking and sad because this particular round just seems to be screwing everybody up when they have big plans. But anyhow, I've enjoyed watching the videos of Getz, even though they could be a little melancholy. But I'll talk more about that. Let's get to the greetings and say hello to everybody. Looking down my list. Hello, Sir Andy of 81E, Sir Digger Evans of the Model Railway, Sir Brian of Finnerton Central, Sir Andy of Hot Dog Piloting, Sir Ifo of Fanzon, Sir Jean of Ricard, Sir John Benicki, our Sergeant at Arms, Sir Joseph Agliato is here, Sir Leslie of Gilpin is here, Sir Steve of Märklin is here, Sir Mick of 92 is here, Sir Dino of the Model Railway Shed is here, somebody just popped in, Sir Dave of Kiwi, New Zealand is here, somebody else just popped in, Sir High of H&H Express. Let's see, where do we leave off? Sir Clive of Newland Railway is here. Sir Simon of SJ Train World is here. Sir Paul of Smallwood Junction is here. Sir Tim of Dowd, one of our chief executive officers. We've got Sir Trainman is here. Blanking out on names right now. I think it begins with an M, doesn't it? Mickey, Marks, Max, something like that. Sir Chris of Valley 56 is here. Sir Wolfsex Scenics is here. I think that's Dirk. Sir Dirk is here. And who else just popped in? My list is bouncing up and down, so people are blinking in and out. Dame Tammy and Sir Ray from Mom and Son Railway are here, or we're here. Sir Andy of March West Junction is here. And that is everybody on my list right now. Sir Peter Jackson of Cheadle Heath is here, just dropping by for a short while. Well, thank you for donating a little bit of your free time to us. So anyhow, yeah, it was really cool to see. First of all, I want to say a special thank you, and my buddy Sir Christopher of Hobby Blog was here, but he apparently dropped out. So if you're in the background, hi, Sir Christopher. But anyhow, first of all, so many people to thank. I want to just thank everybody for your well wishes the last week and a half, 10 days, 2 weeks since Joyce and I found out we were sick. And so I want to just thank all of you in one blanket thank you, if I can do that. I want to say a special thank you to Brian Finn here, who called me early Sunday morning while they were having the get together. And I was able to, at least on a camera, see some people. You know, he had the video phone, so we were video chatting, and he was just showing me around. And I got to see a lot of people. Nobody could hear me talk because the noise, which is kind of sad. But he even had Charlie Bishop from Chadwick. And I'm like, hey, Charlie, what an honor to see you and talk to you in live, you know. And Charlie's like, well, I can't hear him. Bye-bye. You know, so but it was nice to see people. I saw Christopher from Christopher's Hobby Blog, Raven from Malvern Junction, a lot of people that, you know, as well as most of you that were there. I saw a lot of you from, especially that Sunday crowd. It was very nice. I really appreciative of that. I was a little teary-eyed at the moment. I mean, because I really wanted to be there. I am heartbroken I couldn't go. And I know people say, hey, there's always next year, but and I don't want to quash on anybody's negativity. Hey, Sir Dominic of Z Deutschland, how are you? And Sir Robert of Robert's Train Set is here. Nice to have you, sir. I got to see you in a couple of people's videos today, which was great to see you there. And Jason, the Train Freakster, Jason is here, just topping in real quick to say hi. All right, cool, thank you. Well, I appreciate that, Brian. And you know, a couple of people on their channels gave me shout outs, which I thought was nice. You know, and sorry, you know, Anthony couldn't be there. That was nice to hear that people in all their talking videos about, hey, we went here and had a great time at Getz. Unfortunately, Anthony couldn't be here. That was nice. But I don't want to be a party pooper, a negative Nelly in some regard. But so many people have been like, there's always next year. I'm in a state right now where in the last 2 years, so many negative things have happened. You know, I mean, Joyce and I have a positive life. We've had a good life together. We have been blessed to be able to do a lot of things in our life the ordinary person can't do. So us complaining about a couple of things we don't get to do can kind of seem like whining. But at the same time, when everybody's saying, there's always next year, I have literally had my entire circle of friends drop dead on me in the last 2 years, as most of you know, because you hear me talking about it. Next year is not guaranteed for anybody. And, you know, that's why Joyce and I now do what we do on let's go to Getz for the weekend, just for the hell of it, and meet everybody for one time. Let's just do it this one time. Set some money aside, build up for it, save it, and then go. And because nothing's guaranteed, that's what talked Joyce into going with me when I said I was going to go. And she's like, we only live once and you don't know. You know, the death of Chris Whittingham hit her as hard as it hit me. You know, she was so thrilled to finally meet him after all those years of talking to him. And then he died so quickly after we met him. That's kind of changed her mindset on a few things. She's like, along with the death of our friends Dean and John, Mark and Dave, and YouTube friends that have passed away, she's been very much more, what the hell, let's do it, you know, which is nice. But so I hope y'all understand if I came across as being a bit negative on there. Mini Prince is here. Hello, Bernie. How are you? So it was, but yeah, it's a shame we missed Getz. Sooner or later, we'll try to hit one of the bigger American shows as well. But to be honest, we have more friends that would go to Getz than we have that would go to one of the American shows. And the timing was just right for Getz. So that's, hey, Roger is here. How are you? And that's why I'm doing a lot of things. Again, we're also coming up on a couple anniversaries, bad anniversaries that I will not talk about on here. But if you know me on Facebook, you'll see a couple of posts about them as they're coming up. But so that's enough of the negative. Let's go to the positive. If you saw my video, new Locomotive, and it has blown me away. I think it's jumped into one of the favorites category, although every Locomotive I have is a favorite of mine. But this one, I bought on a whim. I actually looked at it several times to buy it in Germany, and Joyce even looked at me like the fifth shop where I passed up. She says, you have looked at that every shop and thought about buying it, just buy it. And I'm going, no, it's expensive, and I'm saving my money for something big, and I'm saving my money for Getz. There's a certain couple of things I'm looking for. But be that as it may, well, you know, and just to go back to talking about Getz real quick, it was packed. It was crowded. A lot of people talked about it. In fact, Dino talked about it in his video, and then Martin from Shedmouth put up a video today where he talked about anxiety, which I have. I have manic depression and I have anxiety issues, and I am uncomfortable in crowds, even though I've spent my entire adult life speaking in front of crowds. And even coming on YouTube, before I turn the cameras on and, you know, work myself into performing, so to speak, I'm always uptight. I have a lot of anxieties of, oh, what if something goes wrong today? What if I say something stupid that offends somebody too much? Or, you know, I go through all these anxiety issues. And they're great videos. If somebody could find the link to Shedmouth, I could, but I'm babbling here, and link that video. He talks about having social and various anxieties and what it means going to the show. I assume next year will be less crowded if Paul Waterman doesn't do his display again, especially if he's doing a bigger one, because the number of extra people that came just to see it for the first time in its full length, as well as how much space that exhibition took away from, made it more crowded, I assume. But yeah, so I got this new big boy. Let's just, not an actual big boy, sorry about that. I realize there's an actual train called the Big Boy, but let's go and let you look at it here up front. This is just something amazing. This thing is huge compared to any other train. Now, I'm sure people have got locomotives that are big, but this one came in at well over 10 inches long. And I think my next longest locomotive is about 7 inches to 8 inches long. So this thing is huge. It's about 28 to 29 centimeters long. So it is big. It's a monster. And it's been doing a lot of running this week. I'm afraid I'm overrunning it already. So anyhow, this is the HFV company, from what I understand, does a lot of the network rail repair for the German rail system. And there's all kinds of vehicles and stuff that you can buy to go with it, including a track stamping vehicle from Wiesmann, which is $470, which I shall not be buying. Hey, did I just see Brian from the Angel Share popped in? Nice to have you, Brian. So anyhow, let's go ahead and get this guy, and you can see him in motion. I'm really tempted to turn his running sounds on and let you hear the diesel, but I think it would drive me crazy trying to talk over it. I'm also running my Austrian. Whoops, I still got him in reverse. I had to back him up to get him on camera. I'm running my Austrian EC with a Taurus, a red Taurus, one of my newer locomotives. I toyed with putting all my new locomotives out again. I'm running an ICE3. And then I am running my Metronome. But Kyan and I did a lot of testing yesterday, so everything should be good. And then I am running Beethoven here. And Beethoven is pulling some Czech IC cars. Kyan wanted to see the Beethoven locomotive running, and so I thought, what the heck? And I said, well, got to pick some cars because the Beethoven can't pull the railjet cars right now, which is what he most likely would have, or even a German IC. And then way in the back, we got the little class 650 going. So that's everybody going. That's 6 trains in action. I'm going to go to the multi-view and finally catch up with chat. All right, so yeah, we have watched that the UK just got bombed with a storm. Now, that was probably part of the system that became a storm over the Atlantic that rained on us last week. It really created a lot of havoc trying to get the driveway and the garage done. Both of them are done. In fact, tomorrow morning, I have to go to our storage locker rental place and get all my garage stuff and bring it home tomorrow, because if I don't get it out by tomorrow afternoon, I have to pay for the next month, which I don't want to do. No 218 today for a family picture. No,
I really should have done that, Ifo. I guess you should have teased me about it a couple of hours ago or a couple of days ago before I picked. I really should have, because I've got all the 218s and the 220 and the 216. Well, not the 216, the V320. And yes, Cayenne's little candy Haribo car is at the end of that train. Cayenne wanted to see it yesterday, and I told him I would have it on the TV today. Yeah, I saw that. They're canceling train trips. They canceled the ferries between the UK and the Netherlands, or at least the one at Newcastle. Yeah, the Beethoven's really cool. It also plays Beethoven music, if I set it up correctly. But it's a very cool Roco and a German company. Well, Roco's an Austrian company, and a German company called, oh, well, actually, they're Austrian too, aren't they? Jägendorfer Collection. I think they're Austrian as well. They make a bunch of these particular locomotives that in real life do play music. These E64 units, or as they're called, the Taurus. In Germany, they're the BR182. Arriva used to run a company called Alex, Peter. Arriva used to run a company called Alex, but Alex is broken away from Arriva, or Arriva sold off Alex. So as far as I know, Arriva has no train company in Germany. They no longer, because they did have a part ownership in Alex, and all the Alex trains, in fact, a couple of my Alex cars do say Arriva on them. But Arriva no longer has anything to do with Alex trains. You got Class 92 Beethoven. Then I see Lee is here. How you doing, Lee? But, yeah, and I did not start the UK stuff. I suppose I can start it up. The UK trades are the same trades. I have not changed them out. I've been meaning to do it, but I just have not changed the UK trains in a couple of weeks. Cayenne likes these two, and you got a friend coming to play trains. Cool. So Arriva runs some in the Netherlands, so there you go. Yeah, the only thing I need for that OBB there, the only thing I need for that is the diner car. I actually have one passenger car too many, but I need the diner car, which Märklin is releasing early next year. And apparently I did find something out. The last couple of people I tried to knight, I can't knight because I have maxed out my number of moderators. There is a limit. It's something like 500.
So I'll have to go back through my list of people that are moderators and find people that haven't come to my channel in a long time and delete them. So some of the new people that have been coming in, I can knight them. Now, see, Clive, that's the stuff that's going to make me cry. I would have happily been sitting at a bar with you drinking an expensive beer or a cheap beer. Heck, I might even try to Carlsberg again. If Jean Ricard heard that one. See, the company making all the moves in Germany is Flix Trains. And I have not ridden a Flix train yet, and Joyce and I are now kind of boycotting Flix trains because they are moving big time and buying up a lot of the small companies in Germany, the small private companies, and taking over their routes. But Flix trains will not work with the German rail system. In other words, every company in Germany except Flix, I could go to their counter and buy for any route in Germany, whether they run the route or not. If I buy a Deutsche Bahn state, Länderkarten or Länder ticket as it's called, Flix doesn't honor it. You have to buy a Flix ticket for a Flix train. And that's bullcrap. But they've bought up a couple of smaller regional lines and changed them to Flix, and Flix will not work. And I really thought that in the German government, to use the rail lines, you had to accept the state ticket. But Flix Trains does not. Hey, Steve's 00 is here. Hello, Steve. Welcome in. Now, let's get some of the bigger pictures going here. Yeah, let's catch this guy coming through. That's about as long as a container train. Well, it is as long as a container train. I think I have 2 other container flatbeds I could put on, but they're empty. The other big news is, I don't want to jinx myself, but next Friday's live stream will have maybe the most interesting locomotive for most of the people on this channel. It's also the most expensive locomotive I've ever bought. So this yellow one, which is the most expensive loco I've ever bought, its reign as most expensive loco lasted 5 days because a reservation of mine just came in. Hello, Ben. How are you? Sir Ben of Eagle Creek. And Sir Alan, Lord of the Lavy of Dragon Junction, is here. But the Märklin Flying Scotsman, and I mentioned on last week's live stream, there were hints that it was being released, and those rumors that people were telling me it's coming, it's been released, were true. I got my reservation notification on Monday or Tuesday of this week, and I immediately paid. So I'm hoping this time next week I will be running a UK train on my actual layout. It'll look totally inappropriate on Germany, but let's just say it's on a world tour. But the Flying Scotsman, the Märklin version of the Flying Scotsman, so it's an HO, not the 00. And I'm going to see, even if they're not prototypical, I'm going to see if those Gressley Teak corridor coaches will work on my layout. I mean, I know they'll fit the track. It's just whether they'll go through some of the tighter areas where my track's narrow, so I can get more lines going through. Welcome to RGJ Trains. I almost inverted that, RJG, but no, RGJ Trains. Hello? Yeah, that's the thing. I'm already seeing all my friends in Germany posting it on the Facebook and the YouTube videos. But maybe I'll be the first American in English to do a video of it. I can only hope. Because I think, except for the Americans who ordered it from Lipa, the American shops that are getting it in, they won't be getting it until next week. They'll be getting it in early next week. So I'm a little ahead. Me and all the other people, I and all the other people who bought it from German places, specifically Modell Bahnshop Lipa. There are a couple of other shops that I know of that ship to America. Oh, you're going to see Peter Dixon. He's going to a show tomorrow. Cool. The rhomboid table. So there, we got Sir Rob and Sir Hartfilius here. How awesome to have you. It's been a while since you've posted on YouTube. It is great to have you here. And they're letting me knight, so apparently they've upped the limit again. Or a couple of people have dropped off. Now, the Märklin version, for those of you talking about the Flying Scotsman, the Märklin version of the Flying Scotsman is modeled on its 100th anniversary image. So it is very modern image, not how it looked back in the 60s or when it did the world tour a few years ago. It is, I think, its most recent incarnation, not its original incarnation. Speaking of that, I was just reading about the City of Truro train, so I found that one interesting. There goes that Beethoven. That's the thing about that Beethoven. No matter where that train goes, it's looking at you. No matter where that train is, it's looking at you. Hey, did I see James from Dundas Junction is here? Awesome. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Heartfilia, and I apologize. It's been a crazy week for me, and I'm forgetting your first name. I know your first name. I address you by it, but it's been a while, and all of a sudden, I'm forgetting. Let's see, there's that Beethoven, just during it. And it plays Ode to Joy. When it starts off, it won't play it while it's running, but when it starts off, if I were to stop it, and I've demonstrated that, but if I were to stop it and turn the sound on and then start it and let it go, when it goes from 0 to whatever, it starts playing Ode to Joy, which the actual one did as well. I still would give anything to get the, I think it's Roco Mozart. I would give anything to get the Mozart one from Roco, but that's like 10 years old. And they re-released it a few years ago, just did a new, same molding and everything. But the original molding goes back 10 years, and then they redid it about 6-7 years ago. And I wanted it when I could get it, but at the time I was really strict on my rule. It's not something here. It was just cool, and I thought it was too cool. And I'm a huge Mozart fan. Mozart is my favorite classical composer. Yes, it is. That is the Azuma, and it's the Beetle EuroStar. It's the Yellow Submarine EuroStar from 1999. So it's an Azuma Class 800 because Joyce and I rode an Azuma Class 800 when we were in the UK last year. Doop, there. But yes, my UK trains are on the floor because they can't run on my upper level because that's 2-rail analog and this is 3-rail digital. Hey, Randall Ellison, how are you? Rick, how are you? Wow, a lot of people are popping in to say hello today. And Sean. Hello, Sir Sean of GWR Buckley Junction. I love the 800 class. I love the GDR livery of it. I also, what is it, the 395s? And which one's the Pride? Is the Pride a 390, a 395, or an 800? The Avanti, I think it's the Avanti Pride. I love that train. I think that's a cool looking train. That's another one I might have bought at Getz had I seen it at a good price. Okay, so it is a 390. That's what I wanted to say, but I never trust myself. Well, welcome, Anthony at Middleport Junction, a fellow Anthony. I now declare you a knight of the Rhomboid table. And you are now knighted. So, Anthony, if you want to advertise your channel here, post a link to your channel here. That's why everybody has the Spanner of Destiny. I see Joe Rader's here. Well, thank you for popping in for a couple of minutes, Joe Rader. I appreciate it. Wow. Must be a boring night out in the world that people want to tune in and see what I'm doing. I think Tim posted the only video that had sunshine in the UK. But you've been posting more stuff on Facebook, which has been really cool, Tim. Yes, I saw that you sent it. I did not open it up. So let me double check it real fast. Let me change cameras here. And I will go to that link. Oh, okay. Yeah, I actually watched that video. Was it last night? If I open this up, it's going to start talking on screen. Silence, he says. Nope, that's not the one I watched. Okay. Because I had somebody else doing the do a video grand challenge. So that's not the one I watched, because the one I watched was last night. All right, well, I will watch that later, because if I start watching it now, it'd be kind of rude. At the Middleport Junction, all you got to do is open your own webpage and then copy and paste your URL and then just pop it in here and hit enter. But let me see. I'm subscribed to you, I'm pretty sure. So I will go to my site and post a link there. If I can get my head out of my hiney. Oh, well, I shall have to fix that. I thought I had subscribed to you. I have not. You're not in there. Or are you, no, are you Middleport Junction? And is there somebody else named Middleport Junction that's not you? Well, there's only one way to solve this. Well, goodness gracious. Here, I'll do it this way. All right, this is coming on Joyce's chat, so Joyce is not here, but a link to Anthony's channel is just came up on chat there. There we go. Okay. So let's go back to the real world. Oh, did somebody beat me to it? So yeah, we're Joyce is typing. Joyce is not here. Joyce is not here. Obviously, she's not here. It's just she was already linked onto YouTube here. I'm not on YouTube on this computer. I'm on YouTube Studio. So it was just easier to type on her screen and find the link. Hey, Ken Amos, how are you? Welcome in, welcome in. Well, I hope so, because you got an awesome channel. And if you guys don't know Heartfilia, now, by the way, since you are all moderators, all you have to do is go to the 3 buttons on the side and click on Go to Channel. So if anybody's here and you say, I don't know that name, all you got to do is go to the 3 dots next to their name when they print on screen if you're on YouTube. I don't know if it works on phones, but if you're on computer and on YouTube watching this, you could go, there should be a link that says Go to Channel. As long as you're a moderator, it'll say Go to Channel. So check these people out. Hello, Jerry, how are you? And Kieran came in. Hello, Kieran. Sir Kieran. There goes that IC3 racing around. This is the next camera to be replaced. I'm going to replace this camera with a good 4K camera. There goes that new guy. Yeah, it's a little busy tonight. That's kind of nice. Hello, Jean Ricard. You were off for a bit. Well, you need to apologize to the whole class, Mr. Ricard. Man, that is a beast. That's a cool view. There's that same view as the trains go their separate ways. Thank you. I call it a train table. I tend not to call it a layout, and people give me grief for that. And I don't know. Maybe I should just give up and call it a layout. To me, a layout is something that somebody's actually working on and they're trying to make things. I just throwing things down. I just find stuff at garage sales and throw it down. See, I probably was going to say something that probably would get misrepresented, and I don't want to say it. But you know how Sam from Sam's Train runs his stuff on a carpet. He has a little makeshift, just fun little... That's all I'm doing. I was going to say mine's a little nicer than what he's got set up, but that's kind of douchey on my part to say that. It's just stuff thrown. I mean, it is based, some of this is based on reality. I do have an actual train station that's based on a real train station in Germany. And it's not a competition, so I shouldn't be, and should never say mine is better. It's what came to the brain right away. Unfortunately, my self-censor kicked in, but then I said it anyhow, so. But this is the greatest thing about YouTube, is getting to meet people. Getting to know them online, and then you get a chance to meet them in reality when you can, like at Getz or like at Timonium, or somebody invites people over to their house and has a get-together. But this is how it's wild. I'm an American running German trains, and 75% of my audience is gentlemen and ladies from the United Kingdom. American German trains, audience is United Kingdom. How would that work? But it works. There's Martin. Yeah, it's wet here too. I've got work I wanted to do in the yard today. I'm trying to, now that the driveway's done and the garage is repaired and I can start parking in my garage, and I'm bringing all my saw tables and my tool boxes and everything home and putting them back in my garage tomorrow morning. I'm trying to deal with the disaster that is my yard now, because I hit that age where I love my yard. I didn't care about my yard. I didn't care how it looked when I had kids that were little. I just want them to be able to play on it, have fun, and it stay safe. And I would mow the grass. I didn't let it grow wild or anything, but I wasn't worried about patches or weeds, because I wasn't going to spray chemicals for weeds with my kids and my pets on the yard. But now that I don't have yard pets, I've hit that age. The kids have grown up and moved out. I now want my yard to look nice, and I've had it looking nice for a few years, and having my driveway done killed it. I've got a huge pile of trash in my backyard that they have to come and get rid of, and my front yard is where they dropped rocks and threw piles of old driveway and rolled caterpillars and bobcats over my yard. So my yard's looking pretty crappy right now. Yeah, a lot of people say that Getz has outgrown the size of the place. But again, Getz was super crowded this year, and somebody like Alan, who was at it last year and this year, maybe could talk differently. But I think a big problem with Getz was the double whammy of Pete Waterman's making tracks, the whole thing put together. Think how much space that took up by itself. Plus the space to let people move around it, okay? So by itself, it took up 1/4 of the venue, 1/5. But then how many more people came to Getz to see the first ever revealing of the whole thing in one shot, parts 1, 2, and 3 all together? So I'm sure the attendance was way up, and then space was even more limited because of that. I think next year won't be as bad if Pete Waterman doesn't do anything special next year. Well, Heartfilia, I have seen Northlands in the United States, I have seen Miniature Wonderland in Germany several times, and then this past summer I got to see Porsche's Traumwerk and Märklin. So I've seen the 5 biggest layouts in the world. So everything's always a little smaller once you compare it to that. Well, I should say the 5 biggest model train layouts in the Western Hemisphere. But then there's the guy in, I think he lives in Connecticut. There's the guy in Ireland who's got an O-gauge layout that runs from his house and goes down the country road along his property all the way down and back up. There's that guy in Ireland. That's pretty wild. Oh, show in Cardiff. Now see, if Getz were in Cardiff, Joyce would be pushing me to go. I wouldn't have had to ask Joyce. I said, Joyce, train show in Cardiff. She's like, buy the tickets. Hey, Philip Page is here. Sir Philippa Page. How are you, sir? All right, we need to change cameras here. But that is an Austrian Eurocity Intercity Express right there in the gray, red, and white. And then my newest Loco, the Class V20 going past. With my grandson. I'm waiting for my grandson to come in to see if he... Barry and Penarth show is much better than Cardiff. Oh, the competition. Such and such is better than such and such. They're all good. They're all good. Hey, Sir Tom Couples has popped in. I didn't see you come in, sir. My apologies. Hello. Hey, Sir Raymond of Legs, how are you? It needs a couple of CD coaches behind it. Nah, not the one I rode. He missed his car. Well, it'll come around again. It's about to come around again, so let's see if we can get it. There's the new Loco. Hey, Kyan. Kyan, here comes your cool car. Are you ready? Here it comes. There's your cool car. Here's your cool car again. There it is. Here it comes again. There it is. There's your cool car, Kyan. And now you can see it going up the back, Kyan. I don't know if you recognize it that way. So let's go back to the multi-view for a bit. That way you can pick which train you want to stare at for a couple of seconds. Yes, that, for those who don't know the story of that little Haribo wagon, that is a gift from Jean Ricard. And ever since Kyan's opened it, as soon as he opened, he said, "Ooh, my cool car, my cool car." And that's what it's been ever since. He calls it his cool car. Now, Ben, since you mangled your ankle, they've got you on crutches. it's now becoming more and more standard in the US that when somebody injures their ankle or foot, they put them on these little strollers, like when my daughter broke her foot a few years ago. And Joyce's sister broke her foot or ankle, had surgery on her foot. They now put them on these little, like, scooters that you knee on, and it's supposedly easier to get around than crutches. It's basically a scooter, but you got your knee on it, and you walk, but your leg rolls, so you're not doing the effort with the crutches. I'm sure that's everywhere. You know, it's not like America invents this stuff. Knee scooter. Well, there you go. A knee scooter. Thank you, Lynn. Well, Robert and Alan and everybody else, I think it's harder to find somebody not on meds. And of course, usually the people not on meds are the first ones to say, "Hey, I don't take any meds." The minute I mention, well, I'm taking 7 pills a day now for various reasons. I'll get my friend Simon, who will be, I take 27 pills a day. And then Deb's mother-in-law takes, well, she was taking something like 36 pills a day. Some in the morning, some at lunch, some in the evening. Yeah, the blood pressure meds. Now, I'm not on blood pressure meds, but cholesterol, blood sugar, a couple others. All right, Kiwi Dave, thank you for spending some of your time with us. I always appreciate it. Yeah. Now, Joyce takes a lot of pills, too. Joyce has her daily regimen of pills she has to take for her health issues. Yeah, sugar, cholesterol, and prostate. Those are my 3 big ones. Yeah, I take basic aspirin. I take good old-fashioned generic aspirin. It works better when I have a headache than anything else. In fact, I take aspirin for pain. I'm technically not allowed to take NSAIDs, but I do get prescribed certain NSAIDs when I have certain things happening. But NSAIDs are not good for kidneys, and I only have one, so aspirin is an NSAID, but it's apparently a milder one. Well, that's one of my best workouts. Is my grandson Kyan likes to wrestle, and one of the things I like to do when I'm wrestling with him is I'll lay down on my back and I just do press ups with him. Joyce won't let me do that with her anymore, so now Kyan steps in. I would do it with my kids too, but the other thing Kyan does is, like, I'll start doing push-ups, and Kyan likes to hop on my back while I'm trying to do push-ups. All right, Peter Jackson is taking off as well. All right, Peter, take care. Well, we'll try to get you there, Philip. Hey, if you're not subscribed to my friend Philip Page, check him out. Check out his page. Especially go back and check the old days when he was the kitchen counter layout. Those are still some of my favorite videos. I go back and watch some of those now and then just for another smile, because those were fun. I love the kitchen counter layout. That was awesome. That was one of the cleverest and coolest things on YouTube when I really was getting into trains and all the UK train channels. It's amazing what you do and the strength your kids can put you to. I'd take the kids swimming and they'd all want to stand on my back and see if I could stand up while they stayed balanced on my back and see if they could work their way to my shoulders so that when I emerged from the water, they would still be standing, but I would be laying flat underwater, drowning. I'd have to take a deep breath, get underwater. My kids would try to stand on me, and they would call it surfing. And then there came a point where they all got too old, and there'd be that day, and it's one of those tragic days that you don't mark in a calendar because you don't know it's that day, but all of a sudden you go, you know what? You've gotten too big for surfing on Dad's back. It's sort of like you don't ever realize the day you decided your kid was too big to pick up. You know, they're 3 years old, you pick them up and hold them. They're 5 years old, 6 years old, carry them, give them piggyback rides. I think they decide they don't want to do it and then get too big. I think kids decide, Dad, I don't want piggyback rides anymore. I'm too old and too cool for that. I don't know, but there comes a day where you realize, I can't do that anymore. So Joyce is my only victim. Every now and then I'll pick her up and throw them over my shoulders and see if I can do squats or something with her. And she gets really pissed at me for that. I don't know why. Put me down, you're going to hurt yourself, or you're going to hurt me. Hey, Matt Slade, hello. I just saw your video before going live from Hamburg Harburg. I have been to Hamburg so many times, but I've never been up to Harburg, which is the northernmost. I've been to Hamburg Altona a couple of times, but usually it's Hamburg Hauptbahnhof. But yeah, Harburg is where everybody goes. I've been through Harburg. I've been through it on my way up to like Lübeck or other places north of Hamburg. But I've never actually stopped and just checked it out. So it was really cool to see your video there. Really cool. The trains I know, the trains I see, because Harburg is very busy. The only place that's busier than Harburg up there is Norddeutsche, because that's where they all go to park. So every train goes there. On that northern route, they all go to Norddeutsche, which I have seen. No pictures of it, but I've been there. Somebody took it by me and said, you know how the trains always say Norddeutsche? Yeah. We're going to show it to you. Massive, massive staging area for trains. The Norddeutsche. ICEs beyond count. Regiobahns beyond count. It's massive. So next time I go to Germany, maybe I'll try to get over to Norddeutsche and videotape it. No, as far as I know, I've never been there. I've made it to, I've taken trains to Lübeck, and I've driven by car up to Flensburg. Or near, I shouldn't say to Flensburg. We were like 2 towns south of Flensburg. The person driving me had to go up there. He and his wife were taking Joyce and me, and they were just taking us all a tour of Schleswig-Holstein, just as a lark. And we just drove up the Autobahn, and we went up, and it was like Flensburg was 2 or 3 more exits away, and then we turned around and came back along the coast there. We came back along the coast. It was a 8-hour, 9-hour drive, because we went from Delmenhorst up to the coast, and then all the way up, and then back. Now, we were doing 100 and some miles an hour most of the time, but... But if you're an American or European and you don't know Matt Slade, just another cool, it's a UK channel, but he runs American stock at times on his layout. Very cool layout. In fact, 2 layouts now. Also has a garden layout at your dad's house that you occasionally film. Well, your dad has a garden layout, but you guys work on that too. Just an awesome channel. Great reviews of stuff he buys. Just a fun channel to watch. So, I mean, he's a much bigger channel than my little happy home here. But if you don't know him, check him out. He's an awesome channel. But to be honest, everybody here, and I'm subbed to everybody that's here, all great channels. All great channels. All have something to offer. But the best thing they offer is themselves, the personalities. And that was something Martin talked about on that video I was talking about earlier today that Martin shared from Shedmouth Junction, if he's still here. Another topic he talked about was when you go onto YouTube and you're just sort of a beginner, like I was, you kind of go on and you see what everybody else is doing and you go, I can't compete with this. And the thing is, it's not a competition. You know, what do I have to offer? Everybody else does it bigger, better, fancier, nicer than what I can do. And the best thing you have to offer when you start a YouTube channel is you. You're your best product. Your trains, your layouts, you are your best product. Because if you look at the 3 biggest UK channels, okay, or at least, I think they are still 1, 2, and 3. I could be wrong, but Sam's Train is number 1. He runs them on the carpet, okay? He violates everybody's rules of how to run trains, but he's got brilliant insight into trains, and most people love him. A lot of people dislike him, but I love him. I think he's awesome. But he's got 120,000 subs or whatever. Okay, and he clearly has a connection that he can get hundreds of locomotives because he's just always got something new or old, used, but new to him. But nothing in the way of layout. And then you have Everard Junction, who is pure master skill layout builder. Then you have Will from IC82, who hasn't published anything in 3 years now, really, who just ran his stuff on a floor. But personality. That's what you have to offer. Eventually, if you get out there and put yourself behind the camera, or better yet, in front of the camera and say, hey, here's my trains, here's what I like about trains, and if you're just there to make acquaintances, make friends, it works. And when I came onto YouTube, I tried to do things a certain way, and I had to do it in a way that I felt comfortable. And I had my old show, which I haven't done in 3 years, the Model Train Outsider show, where there was me and the Ghost of 2015 me. And that was the way it worked to get me on camera, because I was scared shitless to get on camera. And my kids said, just do what you do in the classroom, Dad. Just do your characters, do your stuff. And so I just created this. I'm a noob into model trains, and I'm a very pragmatic, very pessimistic person to some degree, but I've also got this other side of me that's very, yes, we can do it, we can do anything, can we build it, yes we can, sort of attitude. And I just played those off at each other and showed the stages I was going. And then I decided I need to do something serious, because I was doing silly stuff. And so I started trying to explain the Märklin system to friends and family who didn't understand my German trains and why they're different than everybody else's trains. And those wound up causing my show to explode. My channel to go from 200 subs to several hundred subs. I did very serious Märklin stuff, and I had all these people from Europe going, finally, somebody's explaining this in English. But they found out very quickly I didn't know that much, so they left me. I hit a point where it's like, that's all I know, guys. And they left me. But if I can quote some of my friends who talk to me, the reason that they've come and stay is because me. They like my passion for my trains. They like my silliness. They like Joyce coming down and the banter we have. And that's what sells your channel. Whether you make 80,000 or whatever, or 500, it's you. Because there are 10,000 pro channels out there. We can't, quote, compete with them. But you don't need pros. When I see Alan's put up a video, Alan from Dragon Junction, I and I hope Alan takes this the right way if he's still here. I don't care what new he's building. I'm watching it to hear Alan talk, to see what he says, and to see what silliness he's up to. And then, yes, he's got beautiful trains and a great layout, and I've actually been to his house and seen his shed. He actually let me in his house, and nothing was stolen, so it's all good. Or Brian. Brian I've known forever. Brian was one of the first people on YouTube. Brian from Finneton Central here. He's one of the first people I talked to off of YouTube, from YouTube, where we started talking offline. And Brian is just one of the cleverest guys out there. Go back and watch his videos where he built a roundhouse turntable out of a microwave. It was absolutely brilliant. When I watch Tim, when Tim puts up videos, he's either going to do rail fanning videos or he's going to run his trains. And Tim, you have not run your trains in a while. I love to see his trains because he's got an awesome collection of UK trains, and he shows them, he tells what they are, and I'm like, okay, I'll try to memorize that. Or my friend Christopher from Christopher's Hobby Blog. You don't know if he's going to do model planes, model trains, Warhammer, or something. He just throws it all up there. But in the end, it's you that draw people in. Yeah, Raymond, and I'm not, I am not here to ever convince anybody to buy Märklin. I will defend Märklin if somebody hates on it. But I will join in if they say there are these problems with Märklin. I'll say, yeah, and there are these problems with other companies as well. But yeah, when you commit to 3 rail, I won't even say Märklin, Raymond. When you commit to 3 rail, you've limited your world to a degree. You know, I'm limited. I can't run my UK trains on my layout. They have to run on the floor layout. Those poor little British guys have to run down here right now. Whoops, not that one. That one. Those poor little Brit guys have to run down there. Because I just can't get them. They don't work up here. They're 2-rail DC and analog. And this is 3-rail AC digital. Hey, Rainbow Bell's here. Ray, obviously you've been keeping something quiet. I just want to say I hope you're okay. I hope things are going. All right, Robert, thank you for stopping in. Good night. All I know is you said something about you might be recovering today from something. So I hope if you are recovering from something, it is going well. But everybody I subscribe to the person, not the channel. Which is why I have UK friends and European friends. And then there are some people that join my channel that don't put up a lot of videos, but they've been so nice to me on my channel, I'm subscribed to their channel. I just like to get to know them. And, hey, there's 156 Andrew, Sir Andrew of Glasgow. Or Byron's. Aha! That 5-year almost gives it away. I'm on the 2-year plan, if it's the same thing. But that's why I love, I mean, Robert, who's leaving us now, Robert Stream said, A, he's got an awesome channel, but the awesome channel is him, okay? He's the reason his channel's awesome. Yes, he's got cool trains and he's got a cool layout, but it's Robert that, as soon as Robert posts a video, it's like, oh boy, here we go. This is going to be fun. Hey, Andy Dobson, how are you? Hey, JD from Grandpa Rails, how are you? Stuart, there's another guy I love. Great channel. Beautiful layout, beautiful trains. I mean, and again, see, I can't leave people out. And I'll start naming everybody.
Okay, you bought a T6 KPEV. Königsreich Preußen. I've got my P8. My only KPEV is a P8. Because I'm a modern era guy, although I now have, how many trains are not this era? The 2 Rheingolds. So I probably have 4 trains that are not, well, 5, my apologies. 5 Märklin trains that are not era 5, and that's my 2 Rheingolds, my Prussian KPEV, and then I got the 2 that are era 4, the 2 sets from Horst. Then I have some Locos that go with them, like that Class 220 and the Class 218, both in ocean blue and beige. But that was the thing. I went through with Carl Braun, and if you're in the background, Carl, hi. Cool video today with your scones, or maybe that was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday because I showed it to Joyce. So it was last evening for us. Joyce liked it too. Little fun with Richard Brown. But we went to the National Rail Museum with Carl and Andrew McDonald from March West Junction and Robert and Alan from Dragon Junction. Richard from Trains in the Attic. And I'm forgetting. Leslie Gilpin. And I'm forgetting me and Joyce. But I really gained a greater appreciation for a lot of the UK stuff, seeing the Deltic, seeing the big Deltic, the 55, whatever it was, the model number 54. I forget the model number. I'll have to look it up again. But and just listen to Carl and Andy and Leslie and that explain these trains to me. Now, did everything they say sink in and get put into my computer? No, but a lot did. And I started with Carl, so I wanted to cover that. Started with Carl. Yes, I was at the York National Railway Museum in 2022. That was a beautiful day. It was awesome. I mean, Robert and Alan by themselves could be on a TV show. They are sort of the Morecambe and Wise of UK train shows. You put those two together and your sides are going to hurt. It's just hilarious. Hello, Shredder STE. Joel YT is here. Upsilon T is here. Sir Joel of YT is here. Hello, how's your job going? Actually, Heartfilia, I hate to say this, but I was commenting on your videos back then, and you had mentioned you were going to be in York, and I even said, hey, I'm going to be at York. But you weren't talking to me at the time. I did let you know. You just weren't. I wasn't one of your regulars commenting on your videos at the time. Sidetrack Sunday is on your channel. Well, I haven't missed a Sidetrack Sunday. I haven't been to a full one all the time, but I've never missed a Sidetrack Sunday. It's just whether Kyan lets me get there. I do now tell Kyan, I have certain shows like Mark from Donegal Dad does his Thursday show. And Mark, if you're watching in the background or on replay, hi Mark. I am so sad I didn't get to see you. We're going to have to work something out with the stuff that you were going to bring for Joyce. We'll have to work that out and pay for you to send it over here somehow. And Jeff Hammond from Flint Hills is here. Nice to have you here.
Yeah, we are depressed about it. We're still not over it. You know, as people are posting their videos, like Alan just posted a video. I'm like, I could have been there. You know, some people are trying to make me feel better. Like, oh, it was crowded, it was cramped, it would have driven you crazy. I'm like, nah, I would have had a blast. Because not only was there the show, but you could step outside the show and go back to the pubs and the hotel rooms and hang out with people as well afterwards. The after show. Ken Amos is taking off. All right, take care. What, when I was at York? Yeah, it was... yeah, June 22nd or 23rd of 2022. I'd have to look up my itinerary, but I think it was the 22nd or the 23rd of 2022. But we were in York for 4 days. And we loved York. York is a very pretty town. It was very cool. And Joyce loves the Jorvik Museum. Oh my God, that was a cool museum, but Joyce really had a blast at the Jorvik. We both enjoyed the museum, loved it, thought it was great, but Joyce just had a little extra special love for it. Yes, I did. I bought my mallard down on the floor. I bought it at Monk Bar. I was actually buying it in a shop in Edinburgh, but they couldn't, at a shop in Edinburgh that Chris Whittingham had suggested to us from Hales Heritage Railway before we got to Edinburgh. He says, well, the best shop in Edinburgh is this shop. And they had it, but they took it out to test it, and it wasn't working. They couldn't get to work. And then they noticed the piece was broken. They said, well, we can fix it. It would be 3 days. And Joyce and I were like, we're leaving in 2. So when we got to, we went to Monk's Bar. That's where we bought the mallard, and we bought my model train sign that nobody can see, but it's on the stairway up there. When you come towards the stairs, there's a sign that says, model train, model train layout ahead or something like that. And it has an arrow pointing down my stairs. So we bought that at Monk Bar as well. So yes. Oh, a tent self-destructed. Yikes. Ooh, were you on spy business? Warning, this tent will self-destruct in 5 seconds. Beep, 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 beep. Poof. Yeah, that's it. Harbor and Hobbies. Yes, that's it. And they were really nice people. They had a nice shop. I really liked it. Yeah, the one thing I wanted there, because that was one of the shops. That was one of the shops where I kept teasing Joyce like, I want that Azuma. Joyce is like, you don't need an Azuma. I want that Azuma, and it's a good price here. It's 50 pounds cheaper than it was in Liverpool. Come on. Joyce just kept saying, you don't need that. You don't need that. And then Joyce buys it for me for Christmas. Still, maybe the coolest Christmas gift Joyce ever bought me. And I'm sure she'll say, what about this? I bought... But it was a cool story. Oh, geez, Joel. Yikes. Oops. I will say nothing, and Joyce isn't here to say anything, but yeah. Yeah, sign up for Mick. Mick puts up shorts about what he's doing with his layout, which is really cool. Now, see, that's nice of you, Martin. I make Joyce come down here after work. Joyce gets home from work, does whatever she's got to do, maybe takes off her teaching clothes and puts on a t-shirt, jeans, and then she has to come down here. I don't go up to say hi to her. She has to come down here. But then she gets all these people in here saying hi to her, so it all works. Let's see, where can we start? And if you were looking, your eyes did not deceive you. One of those cars is lit up. Only one. It's got its own pickup. But here's the new guy. 10 1/4 inches long. Or 10 1/8 inch. It's really hard to get an exact reading. Just 740 some, maybe more grams in weight. That's a 1.5 pounds. Well, thank you. That's the thing I like. I'm not a master layout builder for various reasons. I mean, I haven't really worked on building this layout in a couple of years. I've added some things. There's a couple of things that are holding me back before I can really expand, and I've just not been working on those things. Now that I'm retired, I have that attitude, well, I'll do it tomorrow, and then tomorrow becomes 6 months later. (6:15 a.m. From Regensburg. Now, is that Regensburg to Hof, or is that Regensburg to Munich, or what? Where is it? Wow, YouTube. Now would be a good time to insert ads. I'm not inserting ads. I'm not on here to make money. Wait, what's Clive got that's exotic? Because Clive's a favorite channel, because Clive is like that guy in all the military shows that just knows how to come up with the stuff like the, Great Escape, James Garner's character, the Procurer. I forget his character's name. He plays a Canadian in the movie who's good at just getting all the little things needed. Clive is great at just finding all the little deals, but Clive just has a great little, what I call sardonic sense of humor as he's looking at a lot of his stuff. And Joyce and I just like it. He has that little, almost snide commentary on some things, but snide comes across as being mean. So I like sardonic, because sardonic is more appropriate. Oh, nobody's there. Where is everybody? There's somebody coming through. Buffers are the official measuring points. Well, that's what I know that. I was trying to measure from the buffer, but because it's kind of curved, I'm bending my tape measure and going, okay, if I straighten it up from buffer to buffer, it's about 28, 29 centimeters. So I call it 28.5, which is about 10 1/8 inches. Oh, Regensburg to Fürstenwald. Okay, the Metropole line. All right. Martin, that Loco, and let me get the 11 lane, and you can have it. It'll be coming through in a few seconds. Here it comes. That is a, officially it's an ES64, but it's most famously known as a Taurus. And that has Beethoven on it. There's an actual locomotive right like that. In fact, Joyce and I saw it this past summer when we were in Austria. We saw it at the Salzburg station. But it was celebrating Beethoven's 250th birthday, 200th birthday, whatever it was. Locomotive. And it's still out there. And the thing is, when it departs stations, it plays Beethoven's Ode to Joy. The real one does, and the toy one does. It does actually play Ode to Joy. I've actually demonstrated it on my channel at times. So it's identical. The model is identical to that red one that just went past. That's also ES64. The thing is, the ES64 has different versions. There's the 1116, the 1216, and the 1016. Sounds like you're given time. Sounds like train time. No, my grandson knows Thomas, although Thomas is not his favorite train. My daughter would have to correct me. I think Gordon is his favorite. Yeah, the ES64 is the Taurus, right? But there's the 1016 Taurus, the 1116 Taurus, the 1216. I'm starting to call it the ES64 because a couple of people have given me grief, but it is a Taurus. That's what most people call it. They call it the Taurus. It's an ES64. Yes, I know it's an ES64, but they call it the Taurus. Just like the Class 223 is called the Hercules. I think it's the 232 is called the Ludmilla. Well, I want to know what UK guys don't like Thomas, because it seems like Thomas is sanctified, is holy ground to almost all UK guys into trains. And I can understand why, of course. I didn't grow up with Thomas. I had heard of Thomas, and I had seen the books even as a kid in bookstores and that, but I wasn't into trains, so books about talking personified trains. And speaking of which, and I mentioned Sam's trains earlier, did you guys see Sam's where he had one of Reverend Audrey's actual Thomas the Tank Engines, like the third one he ever made? Yeah, I saw that, Joel. I saw that Alex got some Tauruses. And he's had toys. Yes, Gordon number 4 or no 4. Yeah, the 182. Yeah, that's what I saw. They were getting them. Yeah, that was something he worked out with somebody, because obviously they had one of the people there. They were not going to let him walk home with it by himself. We shall send this escort with you, who shall supervise. Number 4. Okay, yeah. See, I don't know. He's number 4. So yeah, because that's the one Gordon is the one he mentions all the time. Daughter has Percy and Emily. I know Thomas, and I know he's number 1. After that, I'm lost. I still don't have a clue. I think I've watched 4 episodes of the Ringo Starr doing Thomas and Friends with Kyan, and then Kyan's like, not change channels. Yeah, it's a British thing. Although it's clearly popular here in the U.S. too. Whether it was redone as Shiny Time Station or even the Thomas shows. There are plenty of American kids that know Thomas, and the Thomas stuff sells here. As mentioned, my grandson has Thomas the Tank Engine stuff, and he has seen the shows. The old original classics, not the CGI ones that everybody seemed to hate or get mad at. There's a BR-80 hiding somewhere. Okay. Hey, Brian Rock, how are you, sir? Welcome in. Wow, I'm getting a lot of folks in today. Now, I have heard whispers from somebody that at one time Märklin briefly had a license to do Thomas stuff, but I have never seen any Märklin Thomas, so I don't know if that's true or not. Well, my grandson has had trains shoved in his hand since he was about 6 months old. There will come that day when trains aren't of interest. Cars or bikes or sports or computer games, boys or girls will become of interest to him, and Opa's trains won't be as special. But yeah, and the throttle. I really will be doing another video here with him running my trains again and just do that comparison video. Yeah, he was 7 weeks old when he did that first video. That was on Rick's Sidetrack Sunday. He was 7 weeks old. It was early February or mid-February. Hey, Raymond Anthony's here. Nice to have you. Joyce and I are planning on the UK next year, I think. See, 2023 is 2024 is Australia. So we're really thinking the UK again in June of 2025. Which also might be special because I don't know if that's going to be when Joyce decides to retire. No, I think she said 2026. So that would be our next trip to Germany. Because we're going to do Australia. If we can afford it now. We're going to do Australia and go see Artie. And then we're going to go to England again. And then we're going to do Australia. So actually, the next time we're going to be in the UK is next year's Gets. So Gets of 2024. As long as we don't get sick again. I'm locking myself in my bedroom. Hey, Simon, SG Dusty. How are you, sir? Sir Simon of Dusty is here. Well, that would be awesome, Heartfilia. That would be awesome. The one thing you got to know about my wife, Joyce, is whenever we travel, it has to be new. The only thing she accepts is that we're going to go to Hamburg and go to Miniature Wonderland. That's the one thing every time we go to Germany, she knows we're going to go to Miniature Wonderland. After that, it has to be new. Everything has to be new. So, I know the next time we go to the UK, I'll go to the multi-view. The next time we go to the UK will be Gets, October of next year. And then we're going to do a whole 4-week tour of the UK again in June of 2025. So June 2024, Australia. October of 2024, Gets. And I'm going to see if we can add a day. See if she'll take 3 days off. And we'll fly out Thursday morning, get there Thursday night, spend the hotel, just give us a day to catch our breath, and then Friday to kind of do things before all the train people arrive. But we'll see. And then June of 2025 will be the UK. And then June of 2026 will be Northern Germany and Denmark. Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, the BR03, that was pretty cool. because that's one of the classics. As I've learned, BR03 is one of the classic steamers of Germany in that region. Well, we'll probably give it a try, Raymond. We know it tastes like axle grease. But the thing with Joyce, she wants to do new. But she also loves Cardiff, and Joyce would happily go back to Cardiff, and I would happily go back to Liverpool. But we want to get further into Scotland. We want to get much further into Scotland. We went to Edinburgh and Stirling. We stayed 4 days in Edinburgh. And we would like to go like up to Inverness. And I think Joyce really would like to go to the north coast of Scotland, near the Hebrides. The coast up there. I think she would really like to do that. But I also think it would be so isolated, it would bum her a bit. But maybe Inverness. Because we're thinking of taking the Caledonian from London up to Inverness. We're thinking of renting a master suite on the Caledonian and just taking that up to Inverness, the 2-day trip, whatever it is, and taking the Caledonian up, and then starting in Scotland and then coming down. And then we'll just have to pick, but we could easily go to York again. Or maybe something like Carlisle, Newcastle, just to do a couple other places. We'd probably go down to southeast London, Kent area, and take in some things down there. Station hotel in the signal box. Your spell checker hates German. Yeah. The Reichsbahn. Gotta get that position there. If we go, we would love to get over to Ireland, because we want to actually, the number one draw to Ireland is to go to Donegal and meet Mark at his museum, the Donegal Heritage Museum and Railway. We would love, it would be an excuse to go over to Ireland, but again, it's fitting it in and getting there and trying to fit everything in, because the minute we go to the UK, there's 500 people we would want to see, and then I have to keep Joyce happy with. Joyce wants new. Joyce wants new things. She wants to see new stuff. We can't do the same things. Oh, I guarantee we always miss. We spent 4 days in York. And we actually, we stayed near the, we lived in a little, we rented an apartment from a gentleman, and it was a little housing development. I want to say it was near the river on the northwest side of town. We were a 5-minute walk from the main rail yard there, and a 10-15 minute walk to the York Railway Center, and about a 15-minute walk down the river into town. We loved it. We loved the walk. It was a beautiful walk along the river, and York was a beautiful town. We probably had one of my favorite meals in York, and one of my favorite beers was in York, but it was an Italian beer, so that's a different story. A rare sight are the Czech department coaches on the Alex. Yeah, that would be weird. All right, Ray, take care. So a lot of Alex trades. Because, see, every time I've taken Alex, it's been the routes west of Munich. I took Alex from Augsburg to Munich and from Kempten to Munich. And so they don't have the Czech cars added on them. So I could see them because Alex is based in the town of Hof, which is right on the Czech border. So I would not be shocked if they had a couple of Czech cars stuck on there. And for all I know, they may have bought them from the Czech Republic and will paint them their Alex green. Tripura and the Moli. Well, northern Germany, we're gonna spend a few days in Hamburg, and we're in discussion with Jean Ricard if he's gonna come down to Hamburg again, and then we'll all leave on the same train, and then we're gonna go up and spend some time in Abeltoft. We're gonna spend some time in Denmark at Abeltoft, at least a week, and from there we're gonna see if we could get over to Copenhagen, but it's like a six-hour ride or something like that. Maybe go up to see if we could get over to Malmo in Sweden. It's just what we're going to be able to do there. And then we want to go to Mecklenburg-Vorpommern and stay on the coast there and go to the towns of Stettin and a couple of... and over... oh, crap, the island. Brain fart. How do I not remember the island? But we also want to go to Aachen. So we're gonna go Hamburg up into Denmark, and then Denmark down towards Aachen. We're gonna spend in Aachen, and then we gotta pick one other place, and then we're gonna go, back to Frankfurt and go home. Although maybe Heidelberg. We've never been to Heidelberg. I've been through Heidelberg, but I've never actually gone there. So I might throw Heidelberg, Aachen to Heidelberg, and then back over to Frankfurt to leave. So Frankfurt to Hamburg, Hamburg up to Denmark, Denmark down to Aachen, Aachen over to, and if we have to, if it's cheaper, we might even look to some sort of Ryanair flight from like Aarhus or Copenhagen down to Aachen, if something like that were possible. All right, good night, Leslie. Thanks for taking the time to hang out with us. Rugen, thank you, Jean-Ricard, Rugen. But we want to go into that region you talked about, because that's an area we had looked at for the 2020 trip that got canceled. We were looking up there at one time. So we want to go to that whole, the Ostsee, the Baltic Sea coastline area. And then I've got places I want to go from there. Over into Poland to the town of Stettin, which in Poland now is Szczecin. Because my grandmother was born there. But just tour Pomerania and Mecklenburg. All right, well, thank you for joining us. I was honored to have you stop in. It was really great to have you here. Well, I will happily give Dino a plug. Dino is at 881. He needs 19 to get to 1,000. Let's get everybody up to the next whatever. But my buddy Model Railway Dino is here. And I'm saying his channel totally wrong. But my buddy Dino here, let's get a link to his channel. Although I thought he posted it once. But Dino is a good friend, and he's a UK guy that stopped doing 00 DC trains, and he's gone to Märklin. He's got some Märklin locomotives I gave him, and I've got a whole bunch of cars. And by the way, I forgot to mention that. My buddy Andy, Hot Dog Pilot, and my buddy Dino. Guys, I did not mail your stuff off this week. I apologize. I will try to get them into the mail Monday. I just, between the sickness and everything that went on this week, last weekend, I just did not get them boxed and get them out. So I will try to take care of that this weekend. I apologize for that. Model Railway Shed, that's what I was trying to say. But yes, let's get my buddy Dino up there. There, I'll have Joyce type it in. Somebody else got it in there. All right. All right, good night, Lee. But, yeah, it is great. But Dino switched over, and he's now doing Märklin 3-rail. And the Max Verstappen craze is on this weekend. So if you don't know Dino, check him out. Nice guy, great guy. He got to go to Getz, and I know he mentioned in his video that anxiety was very high going into such a thing. And it was funny here, and I don't say funny as in laughable funny, just as in just strikes me in that vein to hear how many other people going were just so uptight about going that because of anxiety, because of that. Because I sit here and I spent 36 plus years standing in front of people for 8 hours a day talking. And so people don't realize I actually have high anxiety, and I'm very, very uncomfortable in groups. Joyce has to put a gun in my back to get me to go to some of her functions. And I was such a bad parent, I didn't always go to my kids' music shows. I went to most, but I missed a lot because I just can't sit in audiences like that. I struggle. I was a horrible father in that regard. You only need 886. All right, well, I can only do so much for you. Because it was Alan who got me. I had stalled at like 950, 960, and I had been stuck there for a couple of months. And then Alan asked all his people in a video a couple of years ago for Christmas that I had just really started talking to Alan, and you know, I had subscribed to Alan and was talking on his videos when it was Dragon Junction Mach 1. And then when he came back in Mark 2, he was replying more to my comments and started looking at some of my videos and that, and we started talking. And but I had some jokes with Alan because I had been watching Alan for a while. And the funny story, and I'm going to embarrass both Joyce and Alan with this story, so they already know what story it is. It was a summer day, and Alan was out in the shed doing a show. And Alan got up, and Alan had been wearing a long sleeve t-shirt, but Alan got up and backed away from the camera to move something or just something, and he was wearing shorts, kind of short shorts. And Joyce just looked at him and said, "Wow, he's got great legs. He's got biker's legs." So I, being the jerk that I am, immediately typed in and said, "Hey, Alan, you're going to have to start wearing pants because Joyce likes your legs." And that must have been an icebreaker because all of a sudden we started talking and joking and going back and forth. And Joyce still gets mad if I bring that story up. But yes, Joyce, if somebody's wearing shorts and they've got very healthy looking legs, like they run, they bike, she notices it. She just, guys' legs, girls' legs, she zeroes in on them. But anyhow, it was a funny story. But so anyhow, Alan, a few months later, as a Christmas gift, asked his subscribers to come to my channel, and I had gotten shout outs like Barnabas Junction once gave me a shout out, and I got like 10, 15 new subscribers over a week, you know, above what I was normally getting. Tris from Double O'Neill gave me a shout out, and I picked up like 20 or 30 subscribers over the next few days. So I got a bump there. Of course, I gave him a shout out when he was a beginning channel. But he flew past me. I was at 500, he was at 20. I was at 520, and he was at 1,000. But when Alan gave me a shout out, I probably got 80 in 4 days. I just went boom. I blew past 1,000. So I've always been appreciative. But Alan did call for it, because Alan gave me a toothbrush and said I had to clean the shed when I was over there. So I had to work the favor off. But yeah, I mean, that's why I make everybody. I've been making everybody moderators since I started this channel. I want everybody to advertise themselves. I want everybody to join everybody else. Spread the love. I've got a, I got one of those little phone holders for my phone that I could use where I hit it. It's not a selfie stick, but it is a good. I can mount my phone on it and use it. It's just the problem is the lens. I would have to use the the selfie version to truly film. Oh, you used to race cars with them. Wow. That's cool. I got my kids a couple of RC cars back in the day. They loved them, but riding them on the sidewalks in our neighborhood, because there was no other place to ride them, beat the crap out of them. But they all had their own little remote control car. My daughter Elizabeth had the coolest. She had a Dodge Charger, a 68 Dodge Charger, which is still in the house. I think it's the only one that's still around. I think the controllers for my son's, he wanted a monster truck, so he got the monster truck. My daughter Liz at the time was very much Dad's girl. My daughter Elizabeth was Dad's girl. She wanted a Dodge Charger. I forgot what we got Lynn. I don't remember what Lynn got. Maybe you had the Challenger, or I don't know. But AJ had a monster truck. He wanted a monster truck. But it's one of those things. I've said it for almost 4 years, because we're coming up on the 4th. Well, actually, what anniversary are we coming up? We're coming up on the 5-year anniversary since I started this channel. That's in November. Actually, I had a channel since the 2008 or 2009 for a YouTube membership, and I didn't know I had a channel. I had 4 subscribers before I ever posted a video. I don't know what that was about. But I posted my first video in November of 2018, I think it was. So this is the 5th anniversary of the channel. Lizzie had the Charger. She also had a toy Viper, but she had the Charger because we still have it here. Kyan plays with it now and then. I only took it away from Kyan recently because he broke the handle on it. And it's got a real sharp part on it that he can cut his finger on it. How do I know? Because I cut my finger on it picking it up. All right, so Anthony is taking off, or is somebody saying goodbye to me, Anthony? No, Anthony Middleport. All right, well, hopefully you enjoyed it and are willing to come back. Any minute now, the wifey Pooh will be here to end the show. I have not heard her come in the house yet, but I should have heard both my wife and daughter come in by now. But yeah, we had quite a crowd today. It was nice. It was really nice. Yeah, my last week video broke 300 views. and got over 50 likes. So that was like, wow. Well, I'm sure she's got the little blue Viper, because yeah, she loved Vipers, and anytime I saw one for a while, I bought it for her. But Lizzie was just adamant she wanted a Dodge Charger because she knew that was Dad's favorite car. AJ wanted a monster truck, and like I said, I don't remember what we got you, but all three of you had your little remote. I mean, you might have had a monster truck of some kind too. Oh, Mickey, what a pity you don't understand. You take me by the heart when you take me by the hand. And yeah, I'm sure she probably has that Viper. Now, sadly, my Viper, my big fancy 1/24 scale Viper, I've allowed Cayenne to destroy. Oh, look, Opa, the windshield wipers break off. Oh, look, Opa, the windshield comes out. Look, Opa, the rearview mirror breaks off. Uh-oh, broken. Uh-oh, broken. And I don't have any regrets. That thing was just sitting collecting dust. And Cayenne gets to play with it. It wasn't doing anything. So I gave it to Cayenne, and I don't give something without the thought this could get broken. But that's the advantage of becoming a grandpa. As a dad, I might have been upset. You broke my car! As a grandpa, I'm like, eh. At 72, you're too old to get a train-related tattoo? That's kind of BS, Mick. At 72, you're old enough to do whatever you damn well please. Oh, I'm sure there is, Raymond Anthony. I'm sure there's a radio control Alfa Romeo somewhere. In fact, my local hobby store, well, it's not my local hobby store, but the local hobby store, that's really the only hobby they really have. They have some Warhammer stuff, but even that's gotten smaller. They have some model train stuff, but it's not like it used to be. They're 70% radio-controlled vehicles. Drones, cars, planes, boats, but mostly cars and drones. Hey, did I see Dirk from Ohio Steam and Steel is here. Howdy, howdy. Yeah, we used to have a Warhammer well, we didn't have a Warhammer shop here, but there was one at a mall about 40 miles north of here I used to go to when I was really big. I never bought Warhammer, but Games Workshop 20 years ago was doing Lord of the Rings. And I had gotten back into tabletop wargaming and was playing all my Lord of the Rings stuff. And when the movies came out, that really prompted me to start playing again. So, yeah, you can't see it right now, and my mobile cord is not quite. Actually, I could, but it would take a lot of work. But I'll probably put a video up of it. I've got close to 1,500 various 25 millimeter to 28 millimeter scale. Lord of the Ring figures, because I used to do tabletop wargaming. I was always into Lord of the Rings. As a little kid in the 70s, I read the books and just fell in love with the world, and I probably read the books about 70 times. I hate the movies. I'm angry at the movies, because the first movie I thought, this was pretty cool, and they really visually got everything right, but I noticed, wow, they're really deviating from the plot. They're really changing key storylines. And then by the second movie and then the third movie Joyce had to tie me into my chair because I almost walked out about 30 minutes into the third movie. I was just like, this is bullshit. I was ready to scream. It's like, why do you even bother calling it Lord of the Rings? It has nothing to do with the books. It's your own imagination of what happened in the books, because very little they put in the movies is what happened in the books. And I know everybody says, oh, movies are always going to be different from the books, but I don't like it. You know, it's one thing if it's a comic book character where there's 20 versions of Batman or 20 versions of Wolverine, you know, and different plotline storylines. But Lord of the Rings, there's one version. And when you're doing somebody else's work, you should respect their work and not decide to put your own interpretation of it in there. Which is why the family disowned the movies. The family just they disowned the movies. When he was first broadcasting them, it was saying J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, and they said, get our father's name off this. This is not his work. You have totally changed everything. Get his name off of this. And they made him take the Tolkien name off of it. That's why it's Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. Because they said that is not our dad's work, and I was one of the few Tolkien people that really was outspoken against the movies, especially after the second one came out. Most people are like, oh, it's just like the books, and we look at them and go, you never read the books, did you? Or you read the books once when you were 13, and now it's 30 years later, and you're, oh, it's just like I remembered. It's nothing like the books. Yeah, I read Lord of the Rings at least once a year, and usually twice, 3 times a year. In fact, I've only read them once this year, and that's a rarity. But I've been slowed down because I've been doing other things. Well, the trees did walk. The Ents do walk. The Ents and the Horns. But anyhow, but I have figurines going back from the 1980s, the first hobby where I was really truly into painting and trying to make things. And maybe I'll do a video of it and put it on my channel where I show all my figurines from over the years. And you can kind of see how my talent started, progressed, got really good, and then slowly regressed as the nerve damage in my hands really started kicking in. Looks like the 2 guys on the floor are still happily going. All right, Kieran, you take care. Thanks for hanging out with us again, Kieran. It's always good to see you, my man. Oh, the Austin Allegro you guys are talking about. No comment. But, yeah, all the Warhammer and Games Workshop shops went out of business. There's a couple of them in the United States, but there used to be 5 or 6 within an hour, hour and a half drive of Toledo, and they're all out of business. But I would go there and buy scenery, and I always loved Warhammer, but I had too much other hobbies going on that I was just sticking with Lord of the Rings, and all my kids got into it. We would set up my cousins, nieces and nephews. We would set up big battles on the holidays. My kids would have their friends come over after school or on the weekends and play battles. And it's been a couple of years, but every now and then we do get out and play again. But now we have to do small battles because I used to be able to set up a giant table in this room, and we would have 300-400 figures per side. You know, some small battles would be like 20-30 guys per side. Bigger battles, 100, 150, and a couple of times we just set up massive battles. I know we had one that probably had about 600 combatants on the table at one time. You still do 40K bosses now and then? I love Warhammer 40K, but I play it as video games, either PlayStation games or the Warhammer computer games I still play, because I can still have the fun of Warhammer. but not the expense of buying all the figures and having to paint them all. I'm a blood raven. As disgusting as the human empire is, I'm a blood raven, and I hate all the Xenos. The orcs, the dark elves, the chaos space marines, vile, evil they are. Go get an opal. It's funny to catch everybody's little favorite mini Euro cars. I'm going to have to find out. Joyce is late. Drop a piano on a Volkswagen. Why would you ruin a piano like that? Drop an old beat up, untunable piano maybe. And I read The Hobbit to my kids. And the problem is I would do all the voices. I had different characters or different voices for all the characters. So there's my Gandalf voice and my Bilbo voice and my, the various dwarves, Thorin and Bifor and Bofor and Dwalin, Balin and Dwalin, and they all had their voices. And the problem is after about 5-6 nights in a row of reading, I would start forgetting which character I did the voice, and my kids knew, like, Dad, that's not Bifor's voice, that's Bumper's voice. And I'd be like, shit, I don't remember. Are you sure? Uh-huh. Damn. And that's when I learned to make notes of voices. That's when I learned, you know, linking this to the Matt Clark stuff, that whenever I created a character voice, I would make a note in a notebook of here's how I do that character's voice. So I don't know if my daughter Lynn would remember, but by the time I got to the end when they were little reading The Hobbit, I had a little piece of paper, I had a note with all the characters' voices. You know, they didn't care so much about the Elven King, and he didn't speak that much, so I could... So in Lord of the Rings, we learned his name is Thranduil, but he's just the Elven King in The Hobbit. Oh, Joyce is still at work. Yikes. What the hell, woman? Richard Brown is here. Hello, Richard. With the biscuit of the week. Although, it's now a competition because Carl now has scone of the week. And you guys fight out the pronunciation. I've already been to England and had people in different parts. It's scone, it's scone. It's a pastry. And then the bigger fight is what should be on a scone. I personally prefer the jelly and creams. The fruit jellies and cream versions of a scone. Oh, that's right, Randall. You were going to do a club layout video when I was done. Yeah, that's how it's spelled, yes. I just let the UK people argue over pronunciations because they'll yell at Americans. They'll yell at Americans, but they can't agree with each other. It's gone. No, it's gone. No, it's scared. Just like biscuits. Biscuits are what Americans call cookies. No, they're not. There's a difference. All right, let's watch the big guy go around. So here he goes, coming up the ramp. Now he's coming into the station view. I said, this is the next camera to be replaced with a better camera.
Hey, Eric, how are you? All right, Efo's got to leave. It's sleep time. All right, well, yeah, it's 11 p.m. over there. Unless you guys have done the... And then, there it is. All right, there it comes up. And going back up the ramp. So there, you just got a circuit tour of the layout. Good night, Efo. As always, thanks for joining and sharing all the great stuff you share. Ah, good. The metronome blocked Beethoven from staring at you. All right, Randall, take care. Always great to see you, my friend. Yes, where did I put mine? Oh, that's right. I set him over there because Cayenne was playing with them. I got mine too, so I got the Noak figure calendar and the Fowler figure calendar. So I guess, because I believe, Andy I know for sure, but I think Richard as well said, go ahead and do my opening videos. So I guess I'll do them again this year if nobody is offended that I'm stepping on their toes. Like I said, I stepped in last year for Richard because he didn't get them last year. Now what's interesting is the Fowler one looks like it might be giving you a hint at some of the stuff it's going to have. What's also interesting is they now have a little back pop-up hook for hanging these up, like hanging them up as an advent calendar. I didn't see those on the boxes last year. Maybe they were there and I didn't notice. But, yeah, they both seem to have that, so you can hang it up as an advent calendar. But if everybody else is cool as it, I'll do it. If Richard says, hey, it was kind of my shtick, then I will happily not do it. Richard is the one that was doing them, and I loved watching them for I don't know how many years. I was watching Richard's channel where every Christmas he did his daily Christmas specials, and I loved him doing it. And I decided I wanted to buy it just to get figures for the heck of it, and Richard said, you bought it? I said, yeah, I got both of them. He says, well, I didn't get it this year. Would you do it? So I did. Now, what I'm curious about, talking about figures here, is most of the figures that I see people putting on their 00 layouts, even when they say 00 figures, and they're often Hornby or a couple other companies, but they look exactly like the same ones I get from Fowler. So I don't know, does Fowler or Noak print them up and make them slightly bigger, and then it's sold under the Hornby or whoever's name, Bachman Hornby's name in 00? Or are they just the same size, but they look bigger? They do, the 00 figures I see do look bigger, even when I say that's the exact same molding of figures I have over here on my layout. Oh, yeah, the 4-scale ones, where you build something and you put it way in the back to make it look like it's further in the distance. A lot of 00 guys use HO figures, okay? But, you know, I see the ones from Hornby and Bachman specifically say on them 00 figures. And I have seen on people's layouts, you know, for example, I know Alan gets a lot of HO figures, but I've seen some 00 figures and they look bigger than
the HO figures I collect, even though they're the same molding. Just like the 00 cars are bigger. Hark, we have a visitor. Things bouncing around in that fridge. Okay, is that too far in your way, or I'll just push it that way? Or you can set it down here. Okay. Yeah, not bad, not bad. There you go. Okay, you're basically on. And the mic, right. You need the mic. There's the mic. Whoops, hang on. Yeah, sorry, I had been.
Oh, it's okay.
At last choice.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, so hi, Tom. Hi, March West. Hi,
Wait, take a breath, take a breath. Hey, now you're up here.
I know.
There's dogs that can hear you down the
Hi,
street.
Raymond. Hi. Crap.
Hi, Raymond. Hi,
Craig.
Ben.
Hi,
Hi,
Mick. That's Ben.
Nick.
All right. Hi, Wolfsack. Hi, Andy. At last, indeed. Hi, Eric. Hi, Dito. Hi, Smallwood.
Paul.
Oh. Hi, you have 45 likes. You must have a pretty good crew in today.
I got mid 40s at one time.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know why, but everybody came to see me today. Maybe they wanted to see the new Locomotive
That
in
could
action.
be in action, yeah. Hey, Alan. I'm doing okay. Just trying to recover, trying to catch up with work. Oh, now I'm looking ahead because I think I finally got where I needed to be. Contacting parents over various things. Didn't copy something I needed.
Yeah, I had to run her inhaler
Yeah,
over.
you
She was
did.
having some breathing issues at work today. I had to run her rescue inhaler over because she
Yeah.
forgot it.
Hi, Shedmouth.
And that's Martin.
Martin, okay. Let's see, cheat sheet. Hi, Raymond.
Yeah, I
Hey,
should print you up
Finnerton.
a cheat sheet. Wow, you were at work for a while today, yeah.
Yeah, it was a long day. Yeah, it was a long day.
Raymond and Brian say hi now.
Yeah, hi, Raymond. Hi, Brian. Oh, my glasses are filthy.
Yeah, indeed. I buy the Chinese mass-produced crap to put inside trains, and then I'll intersperse a couple of more quality,
Oh, yeah, I know,
more
Eric.
expensive guys like Prizer or Nolk figures as well, because when they're inside the trains, especially if they're not lit, they don't make up. I might hide a couple of them in crowds somewhere, but I tend to buy the more quality figurines for
Yeah.
closer
Where you're gonna
front
see 'em.
scenes, and then when I have crowds, I'll hide some of the
Sure.
crappier ones.
Oh, yeah, it gives volume. Yeah, Eric, I have asthma. This is kind of the weather. It's cool and rainy. That'll do me in.
Yep.
And, of course, I'm recovering from the sea flu. So hopefully that's not too much of an influencer.
Yeah, you saw
Wow,
Kyne's got
look
it
at
right.
you. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Oh, look how
Lynn's
long the
depressed.
train is. I
Pardon?
know she is. Well, she's the only one in the family who hasn't gotten it yet.
Yeah. Well, she had the big weekend for Kyne this weekend. They were doing
I
something tomorrow, and
know,
then we
and
were
they
doing
had
the
to
show on
cancel
Sunday.
it.
Yeah, they had to cancel.
But
I
I
know.
think they can still come over on Sunday because they've all been exposed to it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, but that wasn't the big thing.
Yeah, still a
Sundays,
little-
every Sunday with us is dinner. It was
Yeah.
the going to the zoo
thank
and
you,
doing all that
Finnerton.
fun stuff.
I know. Well, yeah, it was a Halloween.
Oh, that was Brian.
I think that's Brian. Finnerton is
Brian
Brian.
Finn.
Brian Finn. Okay.
You know Brian.
Yeah, I probably do.
All right, I'm overwhelming you right now.
Yeah, I am a little overwhelmed. So, yeah, we sure really wanted to meet all you guys. I don't know if we can arrange a meeting. Obviously, we're going to Australia this year. We'll go to Great Britain the following year. I don't know if there's a way we could get everybody together and meet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be cool to have
Well,
a meet
Getz
and
would
greet.
be the easiest.
Okay, yeah,
Because
next
more
year.
people go to Getz.
You're right. So next year we'll try to go to Getz.
Because it's Australia, and then we'll go to Getz in October as long as we don't get sick.
Right.
And then we're doing the UK.
Wow, look at your long, long trains today.
Yeah.
That was your theme, was long, long trains.
Not really. Actually,
very long trains.
Beethoven is pulling 3 less cars.
Your old baby here. That's
But yeah,
super
the
long.
old baby, ooh baby,
Ooh, baby.
ooh baby,
Yeah.
ooh baby. Yeah,
That's right.
that's actually one car. Well, actually, it's the right length, but it doesn't have the food car.
Right,
It doesn't have the
we're missing,
Speisewagen.
a wagon.
So it's actually.
I imagine people would be very upset with you.
But Märklin is releasing them,
Yeah, really, Craig, you could have.
so I'll be picking them up when Märklin gets them out.
That's very cool. Hi, Joseph.
But because yeah, we're doing the UK in 2025, Australia, and then we'll go to Getz next. We'll try to go to Getz next October.
Right.
I mean,
Do the
we'll
same
go as long as we don't get sick again.
Right. That's sucked.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, indeed.
And then we're going to do the UK that June. We're going to go to the UK.
So we'll be back. So, well, we can make our itinerary. We'll let everybody know what our itinerary is when we get
Right.
back. Yeah.
Right. Well, we've talked about we wanted to do some things different. You
Yeah.
know, that I've already done the same spiel about you always need different. But is there stuff in the UK? Because other than we wanted to go further into Scotland, like go up to
Right.
Inverness and that,
Yeah.
and then we want to go like to the southeast, that area, the whole Kent area, southeast of London, and that
Okay.
area.
Good.
But we could also go back. We got a couple of people that said they didn't know us when we went to York and would like us to come back to York.
We can put York back on. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, he left already, but
Yeah,
Heartfilia came in today.
Okay, yeah, we could go back to York. We could do the York Museum again. Is it open?
Yeah.
Okay. And, yeah, I don't know, maybe almost do it a little earlier in the trip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
And we can almost stay in the same place if you want.
We really could.
Yeah,
We really could.
that was comfortable.
We liked it. It was a
Yeah, we
nice
did.
place. It was a pretty walk to the park and back.
Sure was. I love
I think the
walking
biggest
by-
thing was the grocery store
I
was a
walk
little
in-
limited in what it had, but we learned.
Very, but we could also find a bigger one.
We wound up
That's
eating out a lot more. Normally
Oh,
we
that
buy
was okay.
groceries and eat in our place, but we just wound up eating dinner out almost
That
every
was
night.
okay. I love that walk, and I'm sure there's things in York we could still explore. I mean, York, we were so tired. We were kind of York, but looking back at York, there were very cool things that we really liked in York, and we could probably explore a little further with more energy and just really give it a fair shake. But no, it was a little uncomfortable at first. But again, when we found our way, and we're just finding just wonderful characters, because we love meeting people. And you remember the guy on the bus? I loved his tour.
Oh, yeah.
He did a wonderful job. You know, lock ourselves in the house for 2 weeks before Cats. Well, no wedding is going to help.
Yeah, not going to a wedding. Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah, because it was the wedding. I think at this point we have about 10 people, I believe it's a count, who got sick with it.
Right,
And of course we got to count Cayenne in it too, because you got to give
Right.
that time.
right.
So I don't know if AJ came in.
So the other thing is doing southeast
Excuse me.
and going up into Scotland again. I mean, I would like to try Liverpool. Well, I could do Liverpool
So
again, but we
you're
could
saying
skip
just not
it.
so much go to the west part of the country and do like an east tour all the way up?
Do kind of east and center,
Yeah, maybe hit the center a little bit, yeah.
but we'd be missing Wales.
Yeah,
and we know how much
would.
we fell in love with Wales.
We loved Wales, but you know, let's find other places to fall in love, and we can come back
Let's
again
find other
another
places
time.
to fall in love.
Yeah, why not? We really have.
To find places to fall in love with. I think we already found a place to fall in love, unless you fall out of love and then need to find a place. I hate you. Oh, but I love you here. We need to find a place to fall in love. Oh, might I suggest the bedroom, dear?
Yeah.
Good night,
Yeah.
folks.
I mean, there would be a lot of cool things about moving to Wales. However, I'm not moving without my entire family,
Yeah, so
my children.
So the only way we'd move to Wales is if my son and wife, my 2 daughters, my son-in-law,
Right.
and my grandson could all move to Wales and be gainfully employed. Then
find
we would take you up on it.
And we think about it. But
But then
yeah.
every time we'd watch the news and people talk about all these immigrants coming into our country,
I
we'd
know.
be like,
We're like, yeah, that's us now. Yeah, so what can
it would
we
be
say?
cheaper going to Germany
I mean,
too.
truly, we love America. We're not trying to just run off. But
We love America too. But Joyce will tell you, from the first time I touched down in Germany, I felt home.
yeah, you sure did.
I felt at home. The pace of life, the way things go, just felt more natural to me. Don't ask me why.
So anyway, yeah, it really might be, although I'm still teaching, so that could be a thing.
What's that?
Said, oh, everybody's just don't socialize, don't whatever. I'm still teaching, so I get exposed to everything.
Everything.
Although the sea flu has not been really heavy in the school, at least that I know of.
Right.
I sure hope I didn't take anybody down. You'd love a log burner.
Gotta hope, yeah.
I smoke. So,
But that was it. I didn't know I had it until Joyce made me test.
well, it was more we started with Elizabeth, and
Right.
when she was positive, it's like, yeah, you better.
Because all I had was some nasal drainage in the sore throat.
Yeah. Come in a boat and you'll be sorted.
We don't want to get into politics there, but
Yeah, indeed. Indeed. We don't want to go there. And,
I could make an American political joke, but we won't.
yeah, so. Yeah,
Small
no,
chance we would
I-
try to come in as political
Pretty
refugees.
sure
but
all the money we've spent in this house, we're pretty committed to staying. We have a nice
until
flat
you
driveway.
retire and get your big retirement bonus, and then we could pay off the rest of the house, sell everything.
Buy
You're
a-
you're not moving anywhere without that grandbaby. You're gonna have a tough time if AJ and Val have kids and those grandbabies
Once a month we're going
yeah,
down.
at least once a
Yep.
month we're going down to Columbus.
And they'll come up maybe another time. And so, that little baby will get to know us.
But the thing is, Joyce and I think we like everywhere we like everywhere we go.
Yeah.
But Germany is special to us because it was special to me. But Joyce has fallen in love with a lot of things with Germany. But the UK was beautiful.
Yeah.
Like we have talked about ad nauseum.
Yeah. Yeah.
Joyce hit Cardiff, and I have never seen
really saw
Joyce
somebody.
fall for a city the way she fell for Cardiff.
It was just weird. Yeah, it really was.
I mean, she has loved almost all the places we've been in Germany, but for whatever it was, Cardiff, maybe it was the sea longing. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, it really could
Maybe
have been the
it's
sea
her
longing.
dad's naval background.
Who knows?
But yeah, Joyce with the sea and the hills. Cardiff hit Joyce like.
Where are we going? We're going down to Columbus? Eric's in Columbus?
Yeah, Eric's in Columbus.
Oh, we absolutely could swing by, Eric.
We get I mean, we are very negligent. We visit our son at most twice a year in
Yeah,
Columbus.
say
He
it's-
comes up here all the time.
Well, ideally monthly. That's the plan. They come up once a month. We go visit
and
them.
we should go visit once a month.
Usually in the fall. But, they got married here.
Oh, I
in the
wish I were
fall.
rich enough to afford a holiday home.
Oh, heck yeah.
And wow,
Anywhere, to be honest.
that would be a fight, Mick, because I would say, yeah, holiday home in Liverpool, and Joyce would be like, Cardiff,
Baby.
Cardiff, and then I would say Liverpool. It's in the middle. It's closer to everything. Scotland's not far away. We can go hang out in Al Shed all the time when he's not home. We can go see Jim at Hover Motion and sneak into his loft all the time. So right now, Al and Jim at Hover Motion are like, no, not Liverpool.
Don't let him in.
And I'd be like, Beatles and the Mersey and blah, blah, blah. And I could go to Liverpool games. And except it would be a summer home, and they don't play in the summer.
Yeah,
But Joyce would go
Chelsea,
Cardiff, and
golf.
I'd go, yeah, but Liverpool should go. I got one thing to say that wins over at Cardiff. And I would say, what's that? And do you know what you would say? Mrs. Potts Matilda chocolate
Oh,
cake.
for sure.
And then I'd be like, damn, you win.
Yeah, got me. Yeah. We,
Maybe Bristol, because there's a Mrs. Potts in Bristol,
I mean,
too.
I don't know. We maybe afford to get a canal boat. Spend our summers down in,
Oh, I got a canal boat in the UK.
yeah, why not? You can live small for a couple months.
Oh, I could, but
Have all your stuff at home.
well, at one time when we were much younger, I talked about when we retired, and the kids moved up, because we really expected our kids would move. Like Lynn was going to go to the East Coast and work here, and Liz was going to be a veterinarian and work around the world at zoos, and AJ was going to be a scientist working in something. We thought that we would be empty nesters where our kids lived far enough away that we toyed with the idea we would sell the house and get a boat. And we talked about either sailing the Great Lakes or maybe getting a really big boat and sailing across the ocean, but neither one of us really want to do that. Oh, look, a hurricane.
Right.
But our kids tended to stay close to home,
Yeah,
and we don't have a problem with that.
I mean, even A's
We
not that
are
far.
a close family.
Yeah, we are. But, yeah.
We love seeing my son's in Columbus, and all I'd have to do is get in the car and drive for about, well, he's
about
on the
3
southeast side
hours, yeah.
of Columbus, Canal Winchester,
about
so
3
that might
hours.
mean something to you, Eric. My
Yeah,
son
it
lives in
should mean
Canal
something, Eric.
Winchester. And it's about it's a 2 hour 45-minute drive, and some of the highway is just insane for me. I don't like it.
The thing about the ship, I mean, that nixes really fast. I get motion sickness extremely easily, and y'all have to move to Toledo. That'd be all right. I'm sure I would spend the entire time just throwing up. It just would not be fun at all. So,
We'll all have
Yeah.
to move to Toledo.
yeah.
Toledo's a pretty enough city.
Or we could just stay where we are and visit occasionally and meet every Friday night.
It's not the same.
Yeah, I know.
It's not the same as sitting in a pub and chewing the fat for hours. And by chewing the fat, I mean that horrible English food. No, I'm sorry.
You ate fine. in
I
England.
ate fine in the UK. I actually liked fish and chips. You got sick of it, but I as long as it was deep fried and unhealthy, the unhealthier it was, the better I
I
liked it.
understood that I just didn't get the right fish and chips. I was too greased out on them.
Well, Toledo was nice. I mean, I was born and raised in Toledo, but Toledo's like, hey, Cleveland's a couple hours away, Columbus is a couple hours away, Chicago's 4 hours away, Detroit's an hour away.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of anything we would be into.
These garage sleeps 20. What if we didn't put anything in it? It'd be
Right
cold.
now, it could sleep 50.
It would be chilly
Bunk beds.
because it is not
And
insulated.
they're
in
the
any
UK,
way.
they're used to the cold.
There you go.
They're used to cold and damp. Bunk beds, I could sleep 60 to 80.
Yeah, the growing season's going to be done on Monday. We're getting a hard freeze.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So
Cleveland has a lot of beautiful places.
It
Cleveland has
does.
a bad reputation it does not deserve.
Yeah, I was going to address that too. There are a lot of really wonderful places, wonderful people. In Cleveland, like any city, there's places you don't want to go. But, you stay in the main tourist areas or you stay with a family that you know you'd be absolutely fine. That's true for every single city.
We have a timeshare barge, sleeps 500.
There you go. That would be fun.
There we go. Ooh. But yeah, Cleveland's got a lot of beautiful areas. They've
It
revitalized a lot.
Yeah, they have. They've done
Now
a
again,
lot.
the highway system in Cleveland is freaky, hairy. We did, the 2 years we didn't live in Toledo, we lived in Cleveland. And that was right about the time Cleveland was just starting to revitalize some areas.
It was.
But like any big city, especially in America, there are neighborhoods in Cleveland that are not the best for anybody if you're an idiot and looking for trouble.
Yeah.
I've been in every neighborhood in Cleveland and never had trouble because I don't go looking for trouble. But I don't go to certain bars at certain times because you're looking for trouble.
Wow, you don't even have any beer cars on there. The Cayenne see his Haribo?
What's that?
The Cayenne see his Haribo?
I think so. We tried to show it to him. Yeah, Lindy hasn't come back on screen where we could say hi, Cayenne.
Gotcha.
The Army slept in them in the Falklands. Well, there's that. You can just let Beethoven stare at you for a while. I see you.
Alright, Beethoven.
I see you. I am composing my 9th symphony.
You know, it's like all these Midwestern cities. Since the industries are mostly out, everybody needed to reinvent themselves. And Toledo's still working on that.
Yeah, you remember what Beethoven said when they opened up his tomb and found him erasing one of his operas he wrote?
So,
He said, "Go away, I'm decomposing."
oh, good Lord.
On holiday with the Bennies. Hey, Nick.
There you go.
That's the military.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we, in fact, the last time we went down to, no, not the last time, the second to last time we went down to visit my son, Joyce and I stopped at Robbie's Hobbies. Because they supposedly had a large Märklin selection. They didn't.
No, they did not.
They're listed as a Märklin store, but they had a very minimal Märklin selection.
Oh, Kai got cranky. No Bopa, no MoMA, only Christmas Mickey.
Oh, wow.
Kai.
Oh, Kai.
He really doesn't feel good. That poor baby.
All right, Ben, take care. Just gonna keep hoping.
Yeah, take care, Ben. Yeah,
Just gonna
he
keep
needs
hoping
you.
that the ankle heals quickly.
Yeah, Christmas Mickey. That's a little early for Christmas.
And look
Getting
into
them
the
all
knee
jacked
scooter.
up.
See if your health system covers it. It's much better than crutches.
Oh. Who broke what?
Ben was in an accident a couple of weeks ago and
Yikes.
broke and dislocated his ankle. So he's on crutches.
He wants a high now. Okay, Kai wants a high now.
Oh, okay, here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Hi, Kaya!
Hi,
Opal loves
I
you.
love you.
Love you, little
I
guy.
want you to feel better.
Hope you feel better
You don't
soon.
feel good.
Did you see your special cool car?
Yeah, you're hurry.
There it is. It's coming right here. Hang on, Kyan. Right here. Look right here.
There it is.
There's your cool car.
There's your cool car.
Here, I'll put it on another camera for you,
So
little
anyway,
guy.
Lindy, since you've all been exposed to everything, if you're feeling up to it, come to dinner on Sunday.
There's your cool car, little guy. Yeah, actually, don't go short on
Haribo, there it is.
Macro Mundo World down in Florida.
Right.
They claim they're actually bigger than Renaud's. In fact, they claim that when Renaud's doesn't have something, Renaud's gets it from them.
Right. So.
HAC
that's always
Kids is the
Hawaiians.
best. They have the
Yes,
best customer
totally.
service. They're the nicest people. They're amazing. I love them. That's where I got
Yeah.
the big Loco from.
That's where you just got.
I love AJC Kids. And usually they're the cheapest, but not always.
I
Renaud's
didn't
is a nice
notice
store.
that.
They just don't always know what they're doing.
So your big boy's pulling all those cars.
Yeah. Yeah,
that hill,
Euromodel
okay?
Trains up in Canada is a really good store. I've bought some stuff from them over the years, but the price of shipping from Canada
Yeah, it's
has
gone
just gotten
way up,
ridiculous.
so.
It's cheaper to get stuff from Germany than from Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a couple of shops on the East Coast that have a lot of Märklin. There's one in the New York suburbs of New Jersey. The New Jersey suburbs of New York.
Yep.
Trans-Euro.
Mahano.
They have a Mahano selection. I should look them up and see if they have stuff.
Were we seeing Mahano in
Yeah.
Austria?
Yeah. No, we saw it in Hamburg. That was where we saw the big selection of Mahano, was at that shop, because the
Okay,
Max
gotcha.
Vogel stuff you picked out, that's
Gotcha,
Mahano.
it's Mahano. Yeah. Ah, that was kind of cool.
They look cool. I will
That is
grant
quite
them.
a train you got
They
going
look
there.
cool. The beds are actually lightweight,
Yeah.
but they have a magnetic. It's magnetic metal weight in the containers,
Okay.
which
give
actually
them some
bounce
bulk.
them out.
Right.
So instead of the pegs, it's just magnetic. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Other than yesterday, Cayenne kept putting cars on it every time it went past. And then
Oh.
he would grab the car and he kept knocking the container sideways.
Sure he would.
He'd be like, car, look, open car on the
Oh, that's
train.
really taking that incline
Oh, yeah,
like a boss, huh?
it is.
Okay, that's great.
It's up there as a favorite now.
You're a big boy and got Andre the Giant. Oh boy. All right, night, Eric.
All right,
We'll be in
Eric,
touch.
take care.
I mean, I don't know. It was fun going to the soccer game. We could
It
maybe,
was fun going to the soccer
We
game.
could maybe try
We
to
need
do
to
it
go
again.
down there more often. Eurorail hobbies. Euromodel trains. Well, but I think you're saying that wrong. Trans-Euro Network is Canada. Eurorail Hobbies is Canada. Euromodel Trains is New Jersey, right. They're big. But the TEE, Trans-Europe Express, which is New Jersey, that's where I bought my the cars for my Austrian railjet. I got the locomotive from Lipa, but I bought the cars from Trans-Euro Express because Lipa didn't have the cars. And I paid about $150 more that way.
Hey y'all, Daisy says if you haven't hit the like button, we could be nice and get Anthony up to 50. Thank you, darlings.
You know what?
Yeah,
Have you gone?
I
did you go?
have. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have.
Not now, Ms. Goggett. Maybe in the
Thank
den.
you, Anthony. Thank you, Andy. I just need one more
Sugar.
sugar.
Just need one more like y'all. I say now.
Am I still alive? I thought I got nagged to death today.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Are we going to do our popsicles today? We'll see. Are we going to do our popsicles today? We'll see.
You should have said probably not.
Are we going to do Fun Friday? This is the kid who was absent half the week. I finally told him, you asked me one more time. I'm going to cancel it the entire
Dude,
year.
that's not a stick of butter. That's a full.
Gave him a...
That's a block of butter.
Yeah, indeed. So,
Pulling
anyway.
2 sticks of butter on one of the flat
All right,
cars.
night. Finnerton is...
All right, Brian's taking
Brian.
off. No, he's saying bye to Eric. Or is Finnerton now saying? Oh, Brian's
Yeah,
saying he's got to go
he's
now
saying
too.
so.
Okay. All right,
Good night,
Brian
Brian.
Finn, thank you for hanging out with us
Yeah,
this
come again,
evening.
do
It
the
was
bell.
awesome. And again, thank you very much for the phone call on Sunday.
Yeah, that
It was
nice.
very nice of you. I know you said you were going to do it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that was special. Well, Daisy's had no success.
Or everybody here has already hit the like button, Daisy.
Probably.
Or maybe you need to wobble your 38s. But I mean, yeah, if you look
Yeah.
at the numbers over here, I've already had 215 views.
Wow.
And
People wanted
48,
to
49 likes. And we had,
They wanted to make sure you were
the highest I was at
live.
45. Hey, speaking of which, here's Edward. Yeah, for those of you who are on the Brian end, the problem was you guys couldn't hear me.
Hi, Edward.
I could hear you guys, but you guys couldn't hear me.
Oh, I'm sure it was too loud.
Well, everybody was talking, but he got everybody to say hi. That was cool.
Okay, that is cool.
Alan put up a video today from Getz, and he mentioned me on the video. He says, "And Anthony, don't tune out because at the end you will appear."
Oh.
So he filmed me on the camera with Brian.
Nice.
So he or Babs did, or actually Babs was there, and then his grandson was doing the filming. So I said he, but it was really his grandson.
They made it a family thing.
Oh
That's
yeah,
cool.
his wife, Babs was there, and then the daughter and grandson were there.
Very nice.
Yeah, they had the whole crew there.
Okay. Sure, he's.
Yeah, but unfortunately there was no way
He's
Joyce
4
was getting up.
inches taller?
There was no way Joyce was getting up at 6 a.m.
No. Besides the fact I didn't feel very good, so.
And yeah, she was also just really hard with the COVID at that point.
Sea flu.
Joyce isn't getting up at 6 a.m. for me.
No, but you made a 9 o'clock appointment.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I had a Wednesday appointment and forgot it.
You did?
Yeah.
Oops.
I couldn't find the card. I found the card today.
Oh, for your eyes?
Yeah.
I told him to call you. I called him and said call you.
Oh, you're talking the other appointment.
Which one are you?
Well, you said I've got a 9 o'clock appointment.
Yeah, we do tomorrow morning.
Right.
For a truck.
Well, that's not 6 o'clock. All right, Richard Brown, good night. Thank
Hi,
you
Richard.
for joining us, sir.
Yeah, glad you were in.
Always pleased and honored to see you, along with everybody. That might take the specialness out of it, but it always makes me feel special that so many people come in and hang out.
Oh, for sure.
Now, with 217 views, I'd like to see 217 likes, but you know.
Yeah.
That's him. Yeah, his layout hasn't changed 3 years. I'm not going in.
That's not entirely true. You have some orange buildings.
It hasn't changed
You
enough.
have some gray ones.
I've got new trains.
You got a lot of new trades.
Yeah, from 3 years ago. Hell yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Oh my God, I don't even want to begin to count how many trains I had 3 years ago. It wasn't many. The last 3 years have been a boon or
Yeah,
a near
yes,
bankruptcy. Depends on who's
Could be.
calling it. Heck, just the last year I probably doubled my collection in just the last year and a half.
Yep.
Yep. Notice how quiet she's getting now and less laughy.
Yep.
Yeah. I know, I bankrupted us. We're impoverished.
There you go, Raymond.
What do you...
I don't know. It's all about.
Frau from Erdbeeren.
Erdbeeren.
Well, it looks like it's beginning to say the lady of strawberries.
That's what I was thinking. Strawberry lady?
Let's see what it
Yeah,
says.
we got some cool cars for sure, Andy. I know y'all like it.
Oh, wow. She's got 1.87 strawberry head.
Yeah, right.
The lady of strawberry head. But apparently she's a rail fanner, she and her husband.
Okay.
That's a cool little channel.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's cool.
Wow, one in Vermont. Cool.
Say what?
So one in Vermont. We'll go to the Toledo one again.
Yeah, we'll do the Toledo one in March. Toledo, it's the second Sunday of March. It's a one-day show.
Yeah.
But the last 2 years, it's been packed. I've enjoyed live streaming from it. But the thing is, the Toledo show used to be way bigger. It used to be at the rec center and would fill all 5 halls when it was the Toledo Train and Toy Show. And then the toy show started dying out, and then the guy that did the train show and the guy who did the toy show, they had a argument over money and who was more important, and they split, and the toy show died out, and the train show died, and somebody else started the train show, took it over, and moved it to where it is now, and it's slowly growing big again.
Yeah, put your channels up.
Yep, get your channels advertised. All right, good night, Martin. Thanks for coming out.
Bye,
and again,
Martin.
very cool and, dare I say, brave video today. Very, very sincere and good video today. But yeah, people are starting to drop in. It's about that time where
Yeah,
you start nagging me.
Oh, I nag you?
Kind of, sort of. You haven't asked
Thought I
your
was the
usual
perfect
question yet.
wife. I was just thinking about
Yeah,
it.
and wives nag. So it's about that time. And it's about that time. People are bailing on us before we can bail on them. That's when I'll get stuck with the check. But there it is. Joyce is playing with trades. Joyce is playing with trades. She's playing with 00 trains. She likes the British ones because they're bigger.
Behave.
I am, just badly. I'm behaving badly.
Indeed.
All right, well, 3 hours have come and gone already.
Wow.
So, what are you going wild for?
That you've been out for 3 hours. I
Ah,
put
I
in
see.
an hour almost.
I see. It's only about 40% of my old work day, so this is a walk in the park.
Yeah, no doubt.
So I want to thank everybody who came in. Thank all of you who went to Gets and shared your videos.
Yeah.
And again, I say it every week because I mean it every week. I'm just amazed so many people want to come and spend part of a Friday evening here with us.
Right.
So thank all of you for spending your time with us. I really enjoyed running the big yellow banana there.
Yeah.
That is definitely already up there in one of the faves. It's a
Wow.
great runner, and it's just kind of cool and different.
It's
But
a
you remember that
long
was the one I was looking at all the time in Germany and kept
I
thinking,
know.
buy it, buy it, buy it. No,
I
no,
know.
no. Well, when we didn't go to Gets, I said, screw it, I'm going to buy it.
I know.
So anyhow, on behalf of the amazing, beautiful Lil Joyce Daisy May, we're going to say thank you. And
Yeah, we just need one more.
yeah, just, it'll come.
Yeah, well,
We're going to say, Auf Wiedersehen!
choose.
And happy trains. Take care, everybody. We'll see you.
Bye.